Hey guys, more questions from the gram today. Let's dive right in. This was a really cool question, so let's get into it. Dr. Ish, I need your advice. I've been with my man for 3.5 years. He never brings up marriage. I'm starting to feel like I'm wasting my time. June will make 4 years and I don't see him asking. I don't know if I should bring it up again or not. One of my friends said women can ask too. Dr. Ish, I can't do that. I'm so confused. Can you give me some advice? He said he would actually like to be married, but deep down, I think he's really okay with things exactly the way they are. Help me. So this is a really cool question. Here's what I will tell you. Him saying I do says more about him than it does about you. Let me repeat that again. Him saying I do says 10 times more about him than it will ever say about you. Him being ready for marriage has more to do with him than it does you. Let me make sure all my ladies hear me out there. Him being ready for marriage says more about him than it does about you and what you may not be or what you may not have. A lot of women make the mistake of thinking that there's a certain number of boxes to check off or some criteria they got to meet before they have enough value for someone to want to marry them, and that's just not true. It's just not. Him being ready for marriage is all about him. It's a self-value call. It's a self-check, right? He needs to feel like he has done enough, right? He's going to run those questions through his head. Do I make enough money? Am I stable enough for a family? Am I grown enough for a family? Is my home enough for a family? Is my neighborhood enough? Have I done enough on my own? Have I traveled enough? Have I lived enough? Have I dated enough? Yeah, yes. Hard truth, hard fact. Open your ears up and get ready for this, ladies. Every guy's got a number in his head of the number of people or the amount of different types of people, men and women and whoever else is in there, who he needs to date before he's ready. He wants to know what's out there so that when he finally commits, he doesn't feel like he's settling. Doesn't make him a hoe, doesn't make him trash, doesn't make none of those things. Every guy's got a number of heads. You know what? I want to date this type of person, this type of person, so I know exactly what I'm dealing with. That way I'll know for sure when I'm ready to settle down. So I never have to think back and wish, maybe I should have. I wish I had done that, right? No guy wants to have that. And so that, if a guy tells you he doesn't have a number, he's not doing it, he's lying to you. Every guy's got a number. It's just a guy thing. Doesn't make him a hoe. Nothing like that. So that's what that is. Now, mama, back to you. Your friend was right, okay? Of course you can ask. And I'd advise you to do so. Ask him. Ask him. Because in your asking him to marry you, you're creating a safe space for him to have a very vulnerable conversation. And you're creating a space that allows him to know that, yes, in fact, who he is enough. It's already enough. Conversation goes like this. Hey, honey, I know neither one of us are where we want to be yet, but that's okay because we can still be together. Who we are is enough for each other. There's nothing else extra I need you to do for me, right? I love you exactly where you are and as you are, right? And I just need you to show up and be you. Create that safe space for him to be vulnerable, and it'll get you closer to getting what you want. Set your standards, set your time frame. Let him know that you fully expect to be married or on a strong course to marriage by this date and this time. And if that doesn't happen, you need to have the courage to walk away. No empty threats, no ultimatums. Hey, honey, this is where my life is headed. This is where I want it to be. If that's not happening with you, I owe it to myself to get out there and find somebody who can help make that happen for me, right? Because if that doesn't happen, you got to follow through with your consequence, which is you walking away. You don't get to be in my life as my one and only if I'm not going to be your one and only, and we're not going to make that known in a very marriage type way, right? So don't come back here in 3 years talking about Dr. Ish, he still ain't proposed yet. We're not going to have that conversation. Don't want to do that, right? It's okay for a woman to ask. It's okay for a woman to level up and take the lead. It's okay for you to set your expectations. It's okay for you to have your set of standards, and it's okay for you to walk away if those expectations are not being met. Doesn't have anything to do with him. Doesn't have anything to do with you. This is how I've designed my life in my head. And when that doesn't go accordingly, I take action to get it back on course. And that's all you're doing, Mama. I hope this helps. Circle back. Let me know how the proposal goes. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.